Everyone wants more money, but most of us weren't taught how to create an abundant life. That's where the More Money Show comes in. If you're ready to have more money, create more freedom, and experience more fun, turn the volume up. It's time to learn how to create the prosperity and life you have been dreaming of. Here's your host, Cassie Parks.
Hello and welcome to this episode. I am your host, Cassie Parks, and I am so excited to be back with the incredible Paulie Rojas. Welcome, Paulie.
Thank you so much, and I am so excited to be back with the incredible Cassie Parks.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, so much juiciness to talk about today. Let's just start. What's awesome?
What is awesome? What's awesome right now is that I'm in my dream apartment with my exposed brick in Brooklyn. I feel so hipster, but I love coming home to this apartment. I've never spent so much time giving so much love to a home. My own home with my boyfriend. So that's awesome. And I have a new commercial and voiceover agent, and they're really excited to represent me. I feel really, I feel like I'm in really good hands because they're so enthusiastic about me. So that's another thing that's awesome.
Yay, that is awesome.
Yeah. I love it. So we're going to get to all that awesome because I feel like we have to cover all of that throughout the whole interview. But tell us, how has your future self been showing up?
She has been showing up so much in a guiding force. You know, I told you that I had booked a trip to, my boyfriend and I were going to his cousin's wedding in the Dominican Republic. And so every time it's a new place, I'm like, well, where else can we go explore? Because this is going to be an all-inclusive resort, which it is amazing. I've never done that. I'm so glad I had that experience. It was amazing. And then I thought, but Haiti's next door. Maybe we should go to Haiti. And my boyfriend, being as adventurous as I am, was like, yeah, let's do that. You know, we know that it was a third world country, which we love to travel. We just had no idea the kind of backlash we would get from our friends and families going into Haiti. We just booked it, just in the spirit of adventure. So when we got to the Punta Cana and the Dominican Republic, everyone's like, oh my God, you have to go on the U.S. Embassy website. It's a stage 4 out of 4 warning. Like, to give you an idea, Kuwait in the Middle East is a stage 1 in terms of danger. Yeah, so Haiti is rated a 4. And so they warn you that the U.S. Embassy has shut down. So if something happens to Americans, they can't help you. They said that what happens, especially with women, is they grab the woman, they rape her in front of her significant, whoever is there, disembody. You know, it's a war zone, and there's no laws, and strongly advise you not to go. And so, of course, we're getting this from all sides, friends, family, people. We asked in the Dominican Republic because they're neighbors, they would know. Right. And they're like, didn't you hear about the 2 doctors that were just murdered? And so we're like, oh my God, this is, as much as I like adventure, I don't want to put my life on the line like that. So we were like, okay, well, if we don't, we'll just enjoy the Dominican Republic. It's a beautiful country. So we go closer to the Haitian border, and we decide to go to the Haitian embassy in the Dominican Republic. And we're like, are we going to get murdered? Is this true? Are we going to get tortured? Are we going to get disembodied? And they're looking at us like, what are you talking about? No, it's safe. Like, the worst thing that could happen is you'll get lost because they have dirt roads and the GPS system isn't an American GPS system. And we're like, oh, really? And we did a lot of that kind of questions. And finally we decided, okay, we're going to cross the border into Haiti and see what happens. And to my utter surprise, and also, now I'm ashamed of having asked those questions, because I grew up in Mexico City, and people always asked me if they were going to get kidnapped and murdered. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Where are you getting this information? Because that won't happen to you in Mexico unless you're a politician. There's always reasons, or you're involved in the cartels. And so I found myself feeling so ignorant that I'm asking these questions about Haiti that are so, it hurts the country so much, because it's a country that wants to help itself, and it needs the tourism, the job creations, because they're so ready to be used and help themselves. So we did go to Haiti. It was beautiful. I mean, the mountains are incredible. The beaches are pristine. The people are so helpful, and they just want to be part of the world, It it was such an important trip because I realized how damaging media can be and how damaging people can be to other people when they're not, telling the truth. So that was a big, big revelation for me that I know it's going to come up again, and it's my future, because I want to do all this kind of humanitarian work and tell stories as an actress. I'm like, there's something here. I don't know what it is, but my future self was telling me from the very beginning to go. And it was a good thing I hadn't looked at all this information before I had booked my plane tickets, because I wouldn't have booked my tickets knowing the kind of danger there is said to be out there. Yeah. So that was a long response, but my future self is guiding me and opening doors for me that my present self is like, I don't know. She knows very well.
Yeah.
But I have to do this. Yeah. Just do it. And good thing. And I didn't get all the awful information till right before, so that we did just enough research to still be able to do what we did. Yeah. Right. In a safe way.
I love it, because your future self is like, book the trip. And then, and you follow that inspiration. And then later it's like, right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I love this. And I'm so excited to see how this plays out, because I think Haiti is going to probably has this special place in your heart. And as you grow
forever.
Actress, you are just going to do amazing things.
I had this hit of, maybe not psychics, but how they say, oh, she's famous now, she's going to all those countries. It's going to be so cool when they're like, no, she was doing that way before she was ever famous. She was doing this on her own with no one paying her to do. Yeah, no one watched. She was doing this way, way, way before. So I'm building up my own legacy and credibility before. And you mentioned this today on the call, all the knowledge is coming to me, all the prep, all the everything that I need is happening before the big role comes, and the definitive, while everyone is watching, is happening. And you're so right. And I feel as soon as you said, so you were so right, because in essence, my future self is setting me up for what's coming before it's even coming, just prepping me and gearing me up to, like you said, now that the world will be watching, I'm this fully, constantly evolving, but ready human being. The legacy that I want is being taken care of by my future self right now, so that I'm ready when the time comes, when it's the moment has arrived or is arriving.
Is arriving. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. And I love as a coach, I'm in this spot where I can see that more and more. I see it in my own life and my own business, how a couple pieces get in place before this bigger growth happens. And I can see it in a lot of you now, which is fun. I'm like, oh yeah, she's going to be a bigger star because these pieces are in place, because she didn't just one day get found, but she's been prepping as her future self to be found, noticed, what's the right term of that. But so it's fun to see.
And it's so great. Thank God that you point out where that growth is happening, because today in the call, I'm like, I'm waiting, and I'm nothing, what do I do while I'm waiting? Meryl Streep had 7 roles in her first season, and I haven't had that. And you're like, no. You point out how it's happening. Can you hear the sirens?
Yeah, I love New
Brooklyn.
York. Yeah, Brooklyn. We got to be in Brooklyn.
Yeah, New York. Yeah. My home.
Yeah.
But pointing out that it is already happening, that it's a matter of seeing, not so much that I have to make anything happen. And that was really important for me, because otherwise I'll go back to my old self that is constantly muscling and efforting.
Yeah.
But it's unfolding already for me.
It totally is. Oh my gosh. I love it. And I loved I loved what you shared about Denzel too. I think to us. And do you want to share that story? Because I think that's what helps some listener, right? Because we always want this thing, right? It's oh, I got to get there. I got to get the role. Yeah. So you go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah. So in the work of modeling yourself after who you want to be like. You know, Denzel is one of those actors that come once in a lifetime that define an era and define a race and a culture, you know? And so I was listening to him a lot, and he's all about the law of attraction. He doesn't say LOA, but he talks about it. And one of the things that he would advise to actors is to know when to say no, because the first 5 movies of their careers is going to define them. It's going to be their legacy. So he was offered, I think he even said, like, he was offered about, it was either $60,000 or $600,000 to be the black funny guy in a film that he didn't really care for. And it was so much money. And he said no. You know, it hurt to say no, but he was like, no, because this is not who I want to be remembered as. And I think, like, that same year he was offered like Training Day or something, you know, because he said no to what he didn't want. The defining role of his life at that point came to him, and he was able to say yes to that, and he made like 3 times as much money as he was being offered. So that's always stuck with me. It's, you know, our choices speak before us and into the world. So to say no to what's important and saying yes to the right things is a huge lesson.
Yeah. And huge. And it has so much to do with the law of attraction, getting what you want, right? Because if you're so, I'm going to use the word desperate to like get that role that you'll take that thing that's going to like define you for the rest of your career.
Right.
Like you're getting that immediate hit, but you're not creating your future self. And so I think you having this, talk a little bit about that. How, as an actress, having your future self, like knowing her so well, how does that affect how you're going along the journey?
Well, there's a lot less like of the rat race, which is just the worst thing. To just know that you're moving really quickly and desperately for that little piece of cheese, you know? And then you get just a little morsel, right? It's more like now I get to, I'm happier, I'm more at ease, and I'm get to work that trust muscle a lot more. And, you know, I don't have to hustle and reach out to a million people and like spend all this energy on things that won't really get me there. And if they do, they're going to get me to a place that's not as important or as, you know, where I want to be, because it's this energy, this franticness, and this desperation. Whereas just relaxing, being my future self, learning about third world countries, reading incredible books, watching you know, staying an inspiration, I think, and saying no to what comes along that doesn't align with that is opening doors that I never thought would have happened. And I do think that that's the reason why I was invited to the Audrey Hepburn exhibition by her son. Like, I woke up one morning and then I had that invite in my email. I'm like, what? I can't believe this happened. But it wouldn't have happened if I was this actress known for doing all these B-roll movies, you know, if I was not at the caliber that they would believe someone that would be invited to an Audrey Hepburn exhibit would be. So
yes.
It definitely, like, we've talked about this, but it raises my value. The choices I make are what raise my value and my, you know, service to the world. It makes it that much more unique and more special and more concentrated on the stuff that I want to have put out there.
Yeah.
That represent me.
I love it. And yeah, so let's talk a little bit. Like, you did wake up, and there was a quote when you were getting ready to go to Paris and Brussels. You were like, yep, I'm just bouncing from place that I love to place that I love. And you were like doing voiceover for a movie, and then you were heading off to this.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. It was so great. It was like, and it all happened within a span of like 2 or 3 days, because I had my ticket to go to the wedding in the Dominican Republic. And then I got this invite that was going to be in a few days. And I said, okay, well, I have to go to this with the support of my, you know, my boyfriend and my mom. They're like, you have to go to this event. So like rebook my ticket to go to Paris, and then Paris to Brussels, and then somehow figure out how to get from Europe to the Dominican Republic in time for the wedding. And it was seamless. I even got all my tickets refunded at full price. And I remember my boyfriend being like, well, you might, I don't think Delta's going to refund you anything, but you still have to go. And I did go, and I got my money refunded. And on top of that, they were all direct flights. There was no stopping anywhere. It was the coolest thing anywhere. Yeah. And I got to go with my mom, and I got to see Paris, and I got to speak more French than I'd ever spoken in my life. I proved to myself that I can get around in French, which is important, but just the experience of letting go and again saying no to what I don't want and saying yes to the things I want. And now it was really I know I've said this to you before, but I have to say it here. When I met Sean and he was talking and he did the exhibition, it was so beautiful. He was talking to some friends and I saw him like looking over at me, but I was too shy. Like it was too big of a moment for me to like make eye contact with him. And thank God for my mom, because I was like, Mom, let's go. She's like, no, stay right here because Sean's looking over. So thank God for my mom. And so she's like, Paulie, look left. And I'm like, I can't. Finally I did. I was being a baby. I look and he's like, calling me over because he wants to introduce me to his friends. And he like puts his hand on my back, like a really reassuring touch. Mm-hmm. And he goes, this is my old friend, and she's played my mother better than anyone I've ever seen play my mother. And that was such a significant thing because his whole life is the continuation of her legacy. Mm-hmm. So to get such a nod like that from him, I don't even know what I said. I know I melted a little bit, but it was such a cool, talk about evidence and it's happening.
Right?
Yeah.
That is so awesome. What a great moment.
Yeah.
And I want to like highlight the, like, you knew you had to be there. Like, I want to actually tell a little more of the story because
sure. Yeah.
So make sure the listeners, like, this event was a day before the wedding. This wasn't like 2 days or 3 days, right? You had to be at a wedding in the Dominican Republic from Brussels, like the next day, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it was still a yes, right? No hesitation. You went full in. So you got direct flights. And you had to have that experience that you just described because yes, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I want to highlight one just part that you didn't share. It's like the ticket was only like $30 more from Paris to the Dominican, right?
Oh my God,
a couple
yes.
weeks away.
Yeah. It was from Paris to the Dominican Republic was like $330.
Oh my gosh.
Straight flight. Yeah. And it was, we even got like landed early, it was, and like, you're right. Like, how do we know? The yes was more than a yes. It was like a resounding duh, it was so obvious. There was no or maybes, or it was just like, it punches you in the face how big of the yes it is.
Yeah.
So it was a good feeling for the next time, If it's not that, then it's a no.
Yes. Oh, I love that you just said that. If it's not that, it's a no, because knowing that is number one, so powerful. And then having that experience of when it does feel like that, every single, like, there's no question about whether it's going to line up, because when it's a resounding duh, yes, like all the other pieces, they're actually, I believe, already in place. Right? It's our choice whether we own the resounding yes and we walk down that path of it being perfect, or we like hesitate and we create our own stories, which creates this murky path.
Right. Yeah. And also, while I was at the event, I still had noise in my head of, oh my God, what am I, but so what that taught me was like, it's always going to be there, but it's like, we always have the choice to act upon those fears and those doubts, or just like enjoy what's in front of me. And like, my mom and I went to the top floor of the exhibition, and it just felt like it was Audrey and us, because no one was up there. Everyone was doing like the cocktails downstairs. So I feel like I was in the sacred space with just my mom and Audrey's Oscars and humanitarian awards and her speeches written. It was a really special moment that I could have freaked out and gone to the bathroom and cried, or just, taken the beauty that was the exhibition.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's such a good thing. And it's so true. We always have that choice, because if we are growing and becoming more and stepping into more, like we're always going to have that little bit of, I don't belong at this next level, right? Whatever that next level is. And I love the way you eloquently, like, it's our choice. We can enjoy it, or we can freak out and continue the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's also a way of knowing how, it's okay to care. I think nerves give us that, that we're nervous because we care.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing to be able to care.
I love it. I love it. I want to come back a little bit to how during our last interview, you'd kind of just gone through a breakdown. You feeling
Yes.
awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before the interview,
mm-hmm.
just stuff was shifting, which is part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
Before the interview, you were remembering that, and you said, if I'd only known this invitation to go to this Audrey exhibition was coming, and my trip to Haiti was coming, and actually not too soon after that, you actually got money showed up, right? Voiceover job, and
right.
just sort of fell in $2,500 to do something really easy. I feel like.
Yep.
Yeah. And so just talk a little bit about what would you tell yourself in that moment of that last interview when you weren't feeling amazing right before it? I think we got through it in the interview, but now that you know what's on the other side of that breakdown and now you can expect that, what would you tell yourself?
The first thing that came into my mind is just laughter, just laughing, you have no idea. They say the Buddha's always laughing. I feel a little bit like that kind of you have, girl, feel your feelings, but just you wait,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would, I mentioned this last time, but how dogs come over to their owner if they're feeling sad and they don't ask questions. They don't want to fix anything. They just sit down on your lap and breathe with you.
Yes.
I think that, but the dog is still wagging its tail and ready, no, it's going to play soon.
Yeah.
So I feel a little bit like that. Just sit. I'll come and sit with you. I'll put my head on you. But I know we're going to go play catch soon. I know we're going to be okay soon. So it's just sitting with it and allowing it to happen,
Yeah. I know we'll play soon. Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
We're going to go to the park soon and I'm going to put mud on you and get dirty and we're going to meet other dogs and play,
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. We're going to play.
Yeah.
I love that. And we had talked on one call about a mantra that I think you've been using, and it's the universe is serving up money on a silver platter.
Yeah.
Creating my role. Right?
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that, what that opened up and
Yeah. Oh, yes. So first of all, it just eases me and relaxes me to say that. And then that's when I'm in the best state of mind to do anything, is when I'm easy and relaxed, other than holding on tight and panicking. So that's the first thing it does. It just kind of makes me breathe a lot deeper. And then I can go and be my best self because then the focus isn't on me and, oh my God, me, but it's oh, what's out there? Where can I go that is exciting, that I can add value to other people? And then of course, I get I got this opportunity to do facilitating vulnerability circles, if you will, in the comfort of my own home, and it pays really well, and I can sign up for as many lessons or, sessions as I want to facilitate. And then a voiceover job comes that pays $900. And then I got another opportunity to coach another, a favorite client of mine. And things are always showing up. And if I get worried, I know, okay, fine, I'll be worried because that's an old story. My family's, but soon enough, it'll be just a little bit of worry and a whole bunch of faith and trust, which is growing and growing and growing.
Yay. Yes. I love that.
Yeah.
So fun. And one of the ways that I think that the universe is part of creating your role is you just got invited. You have a new agent, right?
Yeah. It was so cool. When I was away, I got I kept getting bombarded by my agent. She's like, "Hey, I left Abrams." And Abrams Artists is it's a very reputable agency. They've been around forever. They have some very heavy hitters, and I was I'm lucky that I was part of that. But she left, and she's an institution in the commercial in the New York world. Everyone knows who she is. And she was like, I have my own division now. I'm creating it. I want you to come over. I would love to represent you. She was like, when are you back? When are you back? When are you back? Can you call me? I'm like, I'm away, but I'll call you as soon as I'm back. And as soon as I came back, I called her. She was ecstatic, and she's just so excited to have me. She was like, call Jessica at voiceover, because I know she would love to represent you. So I called Jessica at voiceover, and she was like, you were on my list of dream clients I would love to work with again. So that was really an awesome bit of news. And I called my agent, my former agent, and he was really disappointed because he thought I was a terrific talent. So of course, that's always nice to hear. But just the experience of that also came about very easy. And the switch is all done. I just have to go in and sign contracts. And yeah, it was easy. And it just happened.
Right? It just happened, and you were sought after. And this is something, it just happened, but I also think it's something you allowed to happen, right? As you've stepped into this place, like you've been creating this, like my agents, the people that support your work, like really love you and see you as a gift, and all of that. And so while I think in this moment it seems easy, you created it, right? And it wasn't always easy. There was sort of these choices along the way. Like, am I going to believe I'm this, or I'm going to continue to believe that I'm this, even though maybe there's not a lot of evidence in the moment, right? Of how amazing I am, or how this I am, or whatever.
Yeah. And it was a really nice, of course, it's always nice to get compliments, but when it comes from people that I, you really admire and you respect, it's like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, and I love, this is the first time I heard that she said you were her dream client, which is so cool, because you were creating her and she was creating you.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So I'm really excited for what comes next.
I love it. So what are you most excited about in the next 30 to 60 days?
In the next 30 to 60 days, I am excited about, I would love to be so relaxed. Like everything that you tell me, it's like, the parting of the skies and the sun is coming down. So, and then I'm like, oh no, then my own little like shower cloud comes over, and then I'm like, so I'd love to be, continue to hone in on that kind of a trust, and I'm excited to see what else that I have no idea is out there is going to find me, or, finding each other.
Yes.
And there's a possibility about going to Italy. There's a possibility of going to Hong Kong. There's possibilities are everywhere. And I know there's possibilities that I can't even dream about. So I'm excited. I think I'm just excited to be really, really relaxed. I'm excited to relax in the work, relax in whatever happened, relax in the thunderstorm, and just be like, oh, look, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
That's what I'm most excited for.
I love that. And it makes me want to ask this question.
Yeah.
If I'd asked you that a year ago, or a little over a year ago, like, what do you think you would have been excited for?
Oh my God. Oh my God. What? Probably like creating, like writing, attempting to write 10 miserable scripts like that. I have nothing, setting up like a spreadsheet that I never would have looked back at of all the people I want to work with. I would have been signing up for programs I didn't want to take, of how to be, a more well-connected networking actress. I would have been pursuing Craigslist ads for writers that can help write me my own great vehicle, like I did.
Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah. But now I think I'm excited to deepen relationships that are meaningful to me, like with the Hepburns, like with my mom, like with my boyfriend, like with my new found agents, zeroing in on the meaningful quality relationships that I already have instead of pursuing anything.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh my gosh, I got to write down not pursuing.
Yeah, not pursuing. And I did have that revelation, like everything that has ever, like the joys of my life came to me, and I was ready to receive them and like act upon it, but it was all inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what it's going to be like from now on. Now I know that.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited for you. I can't wait. It's like as a coach, I get to have Christmas like every
Oh my God. Well, I think you are our Christmas. You're like our Christmas, our Kwanzaa, our New Year. Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's
love
really
you.
awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Oh my God. And just imagine you and me on the red carpet one of these days. Because you are coming with me, Cassie.
Oh,
So,
yay!
yes. Oh my God. I would love that. Walking down with you.
Oh, I got goosebumps, and I am hearing that as I'm looking at your signed picture above my desk.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And I'm going to see that now. That's going to be so awesome. Now I have a reason to look at amazing gowns. Like
yes, to
gowns,
pick
right?
your favorite one. Yep.
Yep. I love it.
Or get it designed.
That's true.
You know.
Yes.
Whatever you want.
I love it. I love it. It's awesome. Oh, I'm so excited for that moment.
Yeah.
It's happening. Like, I think that's both you and I know that. I mean, I've always known it, but I think
I've always known it. And now I know it a little bit more.
Yeah. And I love it. It's just so fun. So tell people, give people your Instagram handle so they can follow like your amazingness for sure.
I would love to. So it's a play on words on Holly Golightly, because my name is Paulie. So it's Paulie, Paulie _ Golightly, Golighty. So Paulie _ Golightly.
So fun. I love it. And if they want to, is that the easiest way for somebody to connect with you? Or if they hear your voice and they're like, that's my
girl.
That's my girl.
Email is probably the best, which would be my name, Paulie, again, Paulie, and then T as in Tom, RA@gmail.com. Polytra. That's a big inside joke I had with my dad. One day I'll tell you.
I love it.
So for now, it's polytra@gmail.com.
Yay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing this part of your journey with us today. It is always such an honor. And I know this is going to support people for years, right? Like not just the first time it comes out, but as people go back and they love to hear your story, right? You're going to be the Denzel of their life.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, with your help, I will be. I know it. You know, that the kind of guidance I get from you. Yes.
Yay. Awesome.
My honor.
I love it. Well, cool. Well, thank you for being here. And thank you all for listening. Make sure to come back and see what awesome things are happening in Paulie's life next time.
Thank you for having me, Cassie.
My pleasure.
Thank you for joining us on The More Money Show. To learn more about enrolling in the Enchanted Circle, go to cassieparks.com.